Welcome back to Level Up. I'm your host Hakim. Today, guest brings something different, something special, a perspective that blends movement, mindfulness, and meaning. She is certified NOPCO. We're gonna know about that later. Practitioner, coach, and founder of Pars Coaching, where she helps young professionals stay mentally healthy, motivated, and engaged at work before burnout or dropout even start. Her approach, coaching while walking, literally using nature and movement as tools to unlock clarity, confidence, and calmness. Isabel, welcome to the show. How are you today?
Thank you very much. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Really excited to have
Great.
you and learn from
Mm-hmm.
you about your journey, and more importantly, about what you do. I find it really interesting, and of course, in recent years is becoming more and more important. I think also, if I look back to COVID, I think that's the time where a lot of burnout happened, a lot of people feel isolated. So I think your service or what you do is actually very special and very meaningful. And I'm
Yeah.
really excited
Mm-hmm.
journey because you have really fascinating mix of experiences. Looking at, of course, your resume, you have a master's
Mm-hmm.
degree and started in more structured environmental environment before launching your own coaching practice. What inspired you
Yeah.
actually to take this direction?
Yeah. Good question. Yeah, because I started as a child development specialist, and I've been working in youth care and for the municipality of The Hague. And the first two jobs I had after my studies, I thought, yeah, I'm just like researching, investigating, but not really helping people. And at some point, I thought I really want to help people, so actually do something for them or help them help themselves. And then I started the first coaching study, and then I had a moment at which I thought, well, this is so nice. I really want to do more of this, and don't really have that moments that often because I'm quite down to earth. But then after that first study, I did another study for 1 year, and then I really figured out I liked coaching a lot, and that's when I just started my own company, Bars Coaching, and that's 3.5 years ago now.
Interesting, interesting. You mentioned a
Yeah,
moment. What was that moment that actually made you okay? This is what I want to do. I want to open my own company doing that.
yeah. Well, I've been talking about that with my friends and family and other people a lot, and yeah, it just went really naturally. It was just like it feels a bit cliche, but like a purpose or something. I just did it and it felt right, and I didn't really think about it that much. So, like, if I look at it now, it was quite impulsive actually, but I just did it. Yeah,
Nice, nice,
yeah.
interesting. And what's behind the name Parse? Of course, Parse is I think the lilac, the color lilac, right?
Uh, oh, yeah. Well, now you're saying that, I've never thought about it in that way.
Okay,
But yeah,
so
if you
what's the
say,
name?
yeah, well, if you say, so if you put one more A after the first A, it's like you say, paars. Then that's the color. But pars, it's a word from Latin, the old Latin. Because when I was thinking about a name, a lot of names were already used. So I was thinking about Dutch names, English names, Spanish names. Everything was already used, and I thought, okay, let's think about another language. And in the Netherlands, I did gymnasium. So I also had some Latin, some Greek, but then the old languages. And then I found a list with Latin words, and then I found the word pars, which means part. Pars partis, part. And
Oh,
then I thought, yeah, I like the name, like the word itself, but also the meaning of it. Because with pars, I'm saying I will be part of your life, but I'm always emphasizing part because I don't want to tell people what to do, and I don't want to take over their lives, but just be there for some time, give them a little push where needed, and then I believe they can do a lot themselves. But sometimes they just need that little push and someone that yeah, looks into their lives for some time.
Interesting. Really, I totally, yeah. My forgive me for my Dutch. I thought it's the color, which also kind of connects somehow. It's funny.
Yeah, and I'm wearing it right now because
Yeah,
it's kind of my
exactly.
brand color now. But it's very, yeah, funny that you're saying that because I've never thought about it that way. But it's also similar, so maybe it's meant to be.
It's meant to be.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's meant to be. Indeed.
yeah.
And how did it feel for you, stepping out of the familiar, environment, working, for somebody and working for a company and really entirely doing something on your own? How does this feel? Or
Hmm.
how did it feel? How does it feel now? And
Yeah, yeah. Good question. Um, yeah, it's been like a roller coaster. Yeah, again, I just thought if I don't really put a lot of time and energy in my company now, and that was like 1.5 years ago, I thought, yeah, when will I do that? So I quit my job as a care coordinator in special education, and I just started working for myself like 100%. Um, yeah, but I didn't really have any sales experience, any like entrepreneur background or anything. So again, I just did it, and yeah, well, I think it taught me a lot. I got a lot of yeah insights, got to know a lot of people. I've been networking a lot. Got to know a lot about how the society works, how companies work, what companies want. So yeah, it's an interesting process.
yes, yes, I can definitely confirm the same. I'm doing the same right now as well, so I can totally
Yeah,
relate to what you're saying. And it, of
yeah.
course, it take a courage, like to quit and to start. And of course, that
Hmm.
also must be exciting, but also must bring fears. So, what actually was the main driver for you to take this decision? Like, hey, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna do that because it's not easy. Yeah, you can say it, but there must be some really
Hmm.
strong motivation to make you do that.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Well, I think the like that strong motivation was like the purpose and the fact.
Yeah,
Like I started my company because I like coaching, and I fully focused on my company because I like coaching. And I always thought, yeah, I want to do more of this, so let's do more of this.
nice.
And uh, yeah, so far I've always just also with traveling or doing an exchange abroad, or yeah, I always think like if you want to do something, you should do it. And of course, it sounds easier than it is, but yeah, it was the same with this. So I think the purpose and the love for the job and yeah, the love for helping people, and yeah, I think that was
Really nice.
the main motivation. Yeah.
Any fears? Of course, there are always fears, but any fear that maybe something you kind of try to overcome, or it was there, still there. We all have still this fear, but it's interesting to learn from another person, experiencing the same as well.
Yeah. Well, I think every period or every step has its own fears. So that's also a thing. Maybe you recognize that with a company, you're doing a lot of things for the same time. And
Yeah,
when you have your own company, you, uh, especially in the beginning, you've got to do a lot yourself compared to other companies where there's HR, where there's administration, where there's sales, for example, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden you're all these persons yourself. So yeah, it's not really like a fear, but then maybe sometimes more like uh, yeah, the fear of not knowing how to do it, and yeah, I think that's the main fear, like the how.
yeah. The all these other things that you never did before, and suddenly you have to do it yourself. Of course, well, you learn
Yeah.
of course you learn a lot along the way, and it's really rewarding. Like I think one of the most important rewards I think I feel myself is the time that you can have, learn new things and do stuff for
Mhm.
your own company, for your own self, which is
Mhm.
absolutely great. I want to move a little bit more into the mental health, the young
Mhm.
professionals, because this I'm really interested in it. Of course, a really hot topic. One of your
Mhm.
key focuses is helping young employees stay mentally healthy and engaged at work. We all see a burnout, of course, stress level rising the last, yeah, I don't know, 3 to 5 years, I would say, especially after COVID, in my experience, especially among also young professionals, young, like, students, even around all of us, so what are some early signs you often see, that okay, this is a sign of somebody gonna burn out?
Yeah, yeah, it's always hard to it's hard to tell at first, I think. Also, I don't work with people with a burnout that much, but what I think that can be signs are, well, people who are, for example, always saying yes, think they need to do everything, work extra hours, um, but maybe also that they don't know what they want or what's important for them in work or in their private life, and they just go, go, go. Um, and then all of a sudden it's too much. And I'm not saying that should be like that will always be the yeah, like the reason people will get a burnout, but I think, yeah, these are some signs I see, and from which I also believe if people go on with that for too long, yeah, the risk of for a burnout can be bigger.
And do you think, like, sometimes maybe people wait too long, to seek for help, or is it something that they don't really realize, or?
Yeah, I think they're, yeah, like both. Maybe they don't realize how they're feeling. Some people are also not really connected to their body, to how they're feeling, because they're used to going on.
Yeah.
And because if you always go on, you're not really feeling what you're feeling. And that's also something my clients say. They say, yeah, if I just go on, then yeah, there's no problem because I'm not thinking about uh, things too much, or um, I'm not really feeling the negative emotions, for example. So it's like a coping mechanism. Um, yeah, and maybe also some people, that's also a reason that people look for help maybe too late. Um, Maybe also they'll share some things or share some emotions with their environment, like work or like I don't know, parents, friends, and if they don't get a like a warning reaction, yeah, they won't be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. What do you think, from your experience? Of course, you've been into that direction for quite a while now. What do you think
Hmm.
leaders, managers should really consider, or implement to create that healthy environment in the work?
Yeah, one thing I'm always saying to companies like managers, company owners, etc. I always think step one is yeah, creating um, a safe and open environment, and uh, giving space. So what some companies do is that they don't check in with their employees. They just, yeah, also they just go on, go on, go on, and if something is wrong, they will talk to their employees. Like, okay, I don't think your results are well, or I think you're treating our clients in a bad way, for example. But sometimes they don't have check-ins like regularly. So that's what I'm always saying. Like, just have a check-in. It can also just be 15 minutes. Have a check-in. Check how the employee is doing, and also like more often, like for example, half a year or every year, have a conversation about what the employee wants. What are their goals? What's going on with them? Like, yeah, really have contact with them. And if you cannot do that yourself as a manager or company owner, make sure you find someone who can have that conversation. Um, yeah, and also see how can we um, support the employee in the best way with, I don't know, training, education, coaching. Uh, so actually see the employee for who they are.
That's really interesting. And it brings also an interesting question. If you were in a position where to, implement a mandatory kind of rule or activity, whatever efforts in
Hmm.
company, what to ensure that mental health environment, what should that be, as a something to improve the mental health?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think then still like step one would be like these conversations and check-ins in
Yeah,
what
chickens.
way, can be
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, and then just have um, yeah, activities focused on personal and professional development, like a workshop about I don't know, work pressure and energy balance, or a coaching event, or yeah, because sometimes a lot of companies are also focused on the team, or on like yeah, like training about the teams they work with, but not really about the people themselves, but they are the like the yeah, the base of the whole company. So
Mm.
yeah, like the
Yeah,
check-ins and the activities will be mandatory, I think.
very interesting. From my own experience, I've been working with a lot of organizations as well, and I'm not sure you correct me or
Mm-hmm.
wrong. The chickens in the beginning always is energetic, is nice, but along the way, by time, then it start, to drop down, start to be also not focus whatsoever on an individual level, but more into work and what did you do last week, what next week. So kind of also miss that uh, personal part where you can really connect with the employee and understand their issues, or be there for them. That's what I feel, at
Yeah.
least. Do you think that's true, or do you think, or how can we fix it as well if it's true?
Well, I believe yeah, what you're saying is true. Yeah, I think that's yeah what I'm talking about, like um, the interest, uh, yeah, like seeing the interest of the people themselves and keep checking in, even though someone has worked there for a very long time, and
Yeah.
yeah, don't forget it. Yeah.
And then start to, like, yeah, it would work well the first couple of weeks, month, and then the energy will start
Mm-hmm.
to drop down, and the chicken start to become like, just you want to tick the box, just to the manager just want to sit down with the person just to take the box that, oh, I did a chicken, but actually doesn't really
Mm-hmm.
have real conversations. I feel that way. And then also the mental health, or the mental, of an employee, even for the manager, by the way, it's both sides, not
Mm-hmm.
only one side, start to really drop down and start to become just a box that you have to tick as a job. So yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah. 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 True.
Yeah, maybe I think it's a good opportunity also to for the audience and people really listening to maybe talk a little bit about PARS coaching. Am I pronouncing it
Mm-hmm.
right? PARS, is it PARS coaching?
Bars. Yeah. Bars coaching. Yeah. Yeah.
PARS coaching. Maybe tell us a little bit about exactly what you do, what's your main focus, and what do you want to actually bring to a company in terms of value.
Yeah, good question. Yeah, which question do you want me to answer first? What I'm doing,
Well,
what the purpose is, what yeah.
yeah, just maybe a quick overview about your company and what you do, so people really maybe understand a little bit more about your company.
Yeah. Um 1 second. My
No worries.
yeah, so what I'm doing with Bars coaching, well, like you were saying before, is that I'm coaching younger employees to keep them like mentally healthy and involved for the company. Um, yeah, so that's the main purpose. And I help them doing yeah, walk and talk coaching. In Dutch we say wandelcoaching. It's not that I'm coaching them while they're at the walking, for the walking, but more coaching them while we're walking
Why? Well,
in the nature. Yeah. So for example, in a forest nearby Haarlem, or in the Amsterdam forest, or could also be at the beach. So there are different options. And besides that, I also do online coaching if that's yeah, better, if that's working better, or I'm also giving workshops for companies like Oracle software company, or Rabobank, or yeah, different kind of companies.
nice. That's great, and I love actually the idea, of course, walking, and the approach that
Hmm.
for companies and for employees. But why especially walking? What's the difference between walking and just sitting down in an office? What do you think is the difference?
Yeah. good question. Um, yeah, what do you think that the difference will be for you? Like the difference between sitting inside or being inside and walking?
I think if I would answer that, I would always connect to the nature, definitely, because
Hmm.
maybe you step out of your usual environment, office kind of environment. Maybe you feel also a little bit in a box. You know, when you're in office, you're not really opening up a lot, and
Yeah,
maybe because you also kind of like physically your blood cycle is moving, so you're more active. Maybe I don't know. That's my
yeah,
thoughts
yeah.
about it. Am I
Yeah, I
doing
think
good?
it's interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, there's no good or wrong. I just thought it's interesting to hear what you're saying because what you're saying is something really important. As soon as you go outside and you're somewhere else than at your workplace or at your at home, um, it's easy for you to process things. You're really like you're saying, stepping outside of your uh, own environment and you're in another environment, which makes it easier to process things, to process events, and you're also more creative when you're outside and when you're moving. Like it's good for your physical health, of course. You
Mm,
have less stress, and also being outside improves your concentration, your productivity, and also helps with less stress. So as I always say, it's like a holy three unit with the walking, the coaching, and being outside. So,
interesting,
yeah.
interesting. And do you
Hmm.
see like difference in the quality of the conversation, like walking with somebody or online or sitting in office?
Yeah, well, I always believe in like the old fashioned, like being actually live with someone and meeting face to face. So that's one thing, of course, you have outside compared to online. But also, I always see like when people are outside, I always see a change in their face or in their body
Communication.
language. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, it's
Yeah,
nice to be outside. Oh, nice area. Oh, it's so beautiful here. And they're
yeah.
like more open and relaxed. And it also inspires and motivates them because sometimes I have people who won't go outside for a walk by themselves. And when I started the walk and talk coaching, they tell me, "Oh, okay, I've been outside by myself as well, like without me." Um, so
Nice.
they wanna go to nature more. So for me, it's also important to connect people, yeah, to nature and to inspire them to be outside and to walk and to move. And yeah, that's very nice to see.
Yeah, of course. It's always about that. Personally, when I go out and have a walk, always you feel better and you kind of also connect with nature and you breathe. I think it's also like a really important aspect. Did you had any like breakthrough moments that always stayed with you during a walk?
Yeah, well, yeah, I've like a lot of breakthroughs, of course, during the walks. But what I'm always telling people is that, well, first when I'm doing a session, I'll start with walking and check in, like, okay, how are you doing? How were the last few weeks? And then we'll do. We often do an intervention, like an exercise or also a lot of questions, and that's a point where we'll stand still somewhere and look for a place where there's a lot of space and privacy. And then that's the point where the breakthroughs are. And yeah, that can be for some time. And then after that, if the intervention is done, then we will continue walking and the session at some point. Um, yeah, and the breakthroughs can be yeah about anything. Sometimes, for example, people their families are connected to the way they work right now, like the system is very important for that. Or um, yeah, they always think they have to do some things in a certain way. And if I have some questions, I think, oh, okay, you're right. it shouldn't always be like that, or can be different, or yeah. So it's always cool to see the breakthroughs you get. Yeah.
Yes, that's really interesting. I think it's definitely something to be as a habit, like, yeah. I think I'm not doing it myself. I should walk more, definitely. But yeah, we should,
Hmm.
uh, have it like as a habit, like every, I don't know, I'm not gonna say every day, maybe it's a bit more commitment, but every other day probably, or every 2 days with a walk. I'm gonna start do that myself. I used to actually quite a lot, but not
Yeah.
anymore with busy life.
Yeah. 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 So you're saying because of the busy life, you kind of quit doing the walks often.
Yeah, not quit. I still love to do walks, of course, but
Hmm.
yeah, you
Yeah.
know, with I walk also a lot of time dropping the kids to school, bringing them back, so I also walk.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Hmm.
just walk. I used to quite walk almost every day, actually, in the morning,
Hmm.
and then when with the kids, with the schools and work, you get distracted by all by everything. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that can happen. Yeah, but it's very nice that you're saying that you want to do it again, because you're saying that you like walking and that you're always feeling better after
absolutely.
the walk. And that's, yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's
actually,
you're doing it
my
for
favorite
how you
time
feel.
always not walking, but my favorite time always dropping the kids in the morning with a bike. That's always my favorite. It doesn't matter winter, summer, because on the bike and you breathe, and it's really boost my energy always. And I
Yeah.
always fight for it with my wife. Like, I'm gonna do the dropping. I'm gonna do the school.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, good to
Nice.
hear.
Let's shift gear a little bit. This part is quite close to my heart, the entrepreneurial journey and your
Hmm.
journey. And I think it's always nice to learn from somebody else, who's also entrepreneur, challenges, overcoming, how to step, what is your
Hmm.
vision, and how you set goals, stuff like that. So, if I want to start, I want to ask you, what has your entrepreneur journey been so far, in a few words.
Yeah, I think I already said something about it, but like roller coaster, interesting. Um, Give me a lot of insights, self insights, connecting,
Did you
networking.
had
Yeah.
did you had any like challenges? Of course you did, but anything that really was
Hmm.
challenging for you when you starting? It can be in your own like coaching, or it can be in the entrepreneur opening a company. What was your top like challenge comes on the top that you always remember?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the main challenge is it's also connected to the fear we were talking about earlier. So the main challenge is in every step you're taking, or in every new like event, or every new task you're doing, you're taking yourself with you. And it's also something I'm seeing within the companies I'm coaching, or with in the clients I'm coaching, is that uh, like people are most important in companies, and I think it's the same with your own company. So it's also about, yeah, how you're doing also influences how your company is doing.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so it's not like I wasn't doing well, but I'm me more like, okay, all the tasks, all the skills you have, um, yeah, they decide how your company's is doing. So that's, I think that's yeah, the main challenge. I have to be aware of that all the time. And yeah, right now, like, because I've learned a lot, I think it's easier now. But in the beginning, yeah, you have to find some focus, and I think that's also important to find focus. Uh, and that's also what I'm seeing within my clients, within the companies. Like, okay, what's step one? What's step two?
Hmm.
Um, Not doing it all at the same time, step by step. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really interesting and helpful. And in my experience, I think also your mindset plays like a really
Hmm.
important role, shifting or transitioning from the mindset of working, you know, full time for some company, and then it's
Mm.
comfortable, you get your salary and everything is, and then moving to, your own and doing everything by yourself. So how,
Yeah.
maybe from your experience, so how did you manage to transition your mindset?
Well, yeah, but then maybe it's a good thing that I'm a coach.
Yes,
So
definitely.
yeah, I always have to be aware of my thoughts and of my
Interesting.
personal development, and I'm always have to reflect. So yeah, I've got some some yeah mechanisms that help me stay sharp, stay focused, and reflect on myself. Like, for example, I don't know, every day I think about the things that went well, maybe some things that could be better. Um, Sometimes once a week, I write down my intentions for the week and reflect on the past week. Or if I'm not sure about something, I call another coach to talk about a way to deal with the client in the best way or with the company in the best way. So I think it's for me it's quite natural to reflect and to yeah to develop the skills I need in something.
Nice. I love that. I love that. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to put them in advice, like some lessons. I think you said reflect on yourself, which I think is really great one. I do that myself always, like end of the
Hmm.
week. I have this rule. I'm not sure if you heard or know about it, this 30-10 rule. So every last 10 minutes of your day, you kind of look at your tomorrow, what you're going to do, look at your calendar, look at also not only work related, like personal related with family, with kids, with friends, whatever. And then the last
Hmm.
30 minutes of the week you do for the following week. So that really always helped me to
Oh,
stay
okay.
focused.
Yeah.
Like I said also, which is the second one, is to really help me stay focused. Second one, what you said, is really stay focused with,
Hmm.
your goals, your direction, where you want to do. And I think the last
Yeah.
one, the third one, which is really nice one, this is exactly what I'm doing right now, is, connect with other people, connect with coaches, and, have this talk, have
Yeah.
this conversation. Absolutely, the podcast is vision is to share knowledge and share, experiences from somebody who's really experienced it, not just an online training that you take and you just take the box, but actually real experiences. So
Hmm.
I'm really glad you're saying that because it's definitely
Yeah.
aligned with at least what I do, and I think also a lot of people can listen and learn from this.
Yeah. And in line with that, like for example, today I also spoke to another coach, and it made me realize again, like the people you're hanging out with are very important for the steps you're taking. And if you got a feeling some people won't
Yeah,
understand you and they won't help you in the steps you want to do, yeah, then look for people who do understand you and do want to, yeah, focus on the things you want to focus on. And yeah, then things are easier and you can inspire each other. And that energy helps you way more than worrying or being frustrated about why people won't understand you.
yeah, yeah. I agree, fully agree. And it's always good to learn from others and learn from real experiences. So I'm glad you're mentioning that.
Yeah.
I want to move to a little bit to continue that conversation is something about the mindset, meaning, and self leadership. And I had to write this question based on your experience, based on what you do. You talk often
Hmm.
about self leadership, knowing your values, managing your energy, and staying true to what matters. How can young
Hmm.
professionals build that sense of self awareness and direction in their work life?
Yeah. Well, with that, I also think, yeah, it's connected to the other question before, like being aware by reflecting. I think young professionals, for example, if they finish their studies, they're going to start working, and it's a different, yeah, kind of different way of living, different kind of working together. Maybe they had a side job, or maybe they um, yeah had to work together with people during their studies. But it's really different compared to the actual work life. And yeah, like I think in everything you do, it's important to have to have your goals clear and to know what you want. But if you're young, it's hard to do, yeah, to tell that, because
Yeah.
what do you want and how do you know what you want? And like for younger professionals, like their brains are not even fully developed yet. And like if you're like past 25 or something, 27, then like everything works properly. But yeah, but I think one important thing for this is just yeah, like just have some check-in moments with yourself, reflect, think about what you want, um, and think about what you need. And
That's
if you
interesting.
know what you
Yeah,
need, then you can ask for that, and then you can communicate about that. But if you don't know what you want and what you need, you will just do whatever, and people cannot take that into account.
I love that, especially knowing what you need. I think it's really deep and also will help a lot of people to reflect and realize actually what they really need to kind of level up, kind of move to the next
Yeah,
phase. And you mentioned goals, and of course, it's not so easy even for us, to have clear goals. But do you have any sort of steps or advice? How can you at least start um, looking for your goals or trying to find your goals?
yeah, yeah. That's like you say, it's hard. Like you're saying, for you, for me, for everyone, I think. But yeah, knowing your goals, I think, um, yeah, to look further. So don't focus only on this day, this week, but sometimes check in with yourself and see where do I wanna be within a few months or within a year, maybe. Also, maybe talk to other people about what you want, and then sometimes you can also figure out what you don't want. Sometimes that can also be helpful to have some focus. And yeah, it also helps if you know your values, if you know what's important for you, then it's easier for you to, yeah, to realize or to at least write down your goals. And yeah, I think if you have a lot of self insight, it's also easier to know what kind of goals you want. But yeah, yeah, so I think there are different ways, but it's also yeah, all connected to each other.
Nice, really nice. We're almost in the end. The times always goes so quickly. It's really a nice
Yeah,
conversation. Thank you. And I had to do that, this quick fire walk and reflect round. So you got to answer some short answers. Um, Morning walk or evening walk?
uh, ooh, sorry, 1 second, my earphones
No
are
worries.
again for me it will be morning walk, definitely. Yeah, because then most of the time it's more bright and it's a good start of the day. Start your day walking, and then yeah, you feel energized and fit, and you have some daylight, so you also improve your sleep.
Nice. Coffee or tea after session?
For me, it would be coffee.
Nice. Good. One word describes your coaching philosophy.
The self or self.
Interesting. A daily ritual that keeps you always grounded.
That's my sensory walk. It's a walk in the morning, which I always do to focus on my senses, to be in the moment, and to focus on the outside, and to be like more mindful.
And one message you want the listeners to walk away with today.
Yeah, just take the first step you're thinking about right now.
The last and famous question of the podcast: what does level up means to you?
Yeah, that's connected to the other one. Just actually really take the first step, whatever holds you back.
Do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Just do
Just
it.
do
Yeah, yeah.
it. Isabel, thank you so much. It was really nice conversation. Thank you for the insights and the lessons. I think quite interesting, and of course, it's really important. I love what you do, so really keep it up and continue. Love to see you grow. We always stay connected. I'm gonna share your contacts, of course, in the description so people can reach out to you. And yeah, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you for the great conversation and very nice questions, and nice talking to you. And we'll keep in touch.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.